Hello, and welcome to the show Contribute to the Chaos. Today is our special Valentine's Day episode, where we will analyze the concept of love, the concept of Valentine's Day, and what it means to be in love or a human. And we have a special guest with us, who is me and Naomi's Valentine, Max. And what? And would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Max.
Nice job. Good job. That was a great introduction. So, to start off our show, we are going to play some music for you that is specifically for people who aren't really happy that today is Valentine's Day. But Naomi, why don't you just give us a little bit of stalling?
Stalling. This is what I do best. I like to stall. Fill my voice in the radio waves. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Valentine's Day is one of those holidays for those special loved ones. Sometimes it's hard to feel love, you know?
I hope to one day be a loved one.
Actually, everyone, Max is the universal Valentine for everyone. So if you don't have a Valentine, Max will be your Valentine.
Max, would you like to do some flirting with the audience to make them feel loved?
Hey, what's up? Tune in often. Long-time listener. Anyone here?
Continue, Max. Why don't you ask them some personal questions? Get to know them.
What's your sign? What's your name?
We talk about how having your stating your zodiac sign is really important for some people.
That's really so strange to me. Actually, in Japan, they don't do zodiac sign; they do blood type.
Ooh,
which is even weirder, if you ask me.
Well, do they have personality traits associated with blood type? Tell me some of them.
I don't know any off the top of my head, but this girl that I was going out with when I was there said that she doesn't associate with B blood types.
That's such a large percentage of the population because there's only so many blood types.
Exactly.
That you're just canceling out an entire range of possibilities.
Certain in job applications, it's important and stuff like that.
Did you have to tell her your blood type?
I didn't know it off the top of my head.
You have to put your blood type on a job application?
It's not that you have to put your blood type on a job application, but they sort of at least back in the day, they would be looking for the traits associated with a blood type or whatever.
That's a little in America. We don't put our zodiac sign.
But you can look it up.
I don't even know my blood type, so I don't know what I'd be telling people about blood types.
I'm picturing in Japan, when you're a new hire, when you're still in the probationary process, they prick you, take a little bit of your blood, and take it away to a special
I don't know if they do that and let you know about it though.
No,
that's
what
the thing.
I'm saying.
Okay.
This is something that goes on in the underground in big corporations that want to make sure they only have the purest. There's probably one company out there that only has AB blood, but they don't let anyone know about this prejudice. They will come up with reasons to fire people. And sorry, all right, guys. What do we think for our first song? How about a song that reflects how painful love can be? As a first one.
Yeah.
It's really emotional.
That's what I'm gonna put my vote towards that one.
All right. This song is called "Chemicals" by Tiger's Jaw.
That's intense.
All right, we're gonna play you a little bit more Tiger's Jaw because they just really reflect what we're going for at the beginning of the show, the mood we're trying to set. And what was the name of the song you mentioned, Max?
I don't remember the name of the song exactly, but it's the one where, I think it taught me a lot about being a friend. That song.
I Saw Water.
Yeah.
I guess that would be it. Yeah, I'm so unfamiliar with this band. That's like the only song I know by them.
All right.
And I think it was on a mixed CD or something.
It's their third most popular song. So
wow.
That's better than only knowing their most popular song.
I mean, I'm like a third most popular kind of guy,
Yeah. Max is like almost a hipster. He's like in between.
Like right here, I'm the third most popular person in the room.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad you're really
perceptive.
You're very self-aware.
Thank you.
And it's a really good quality to have.
Wow, I wish they could see me just beaming right now.
Okay.
Max is floating, everyone.
Yeah. Oh, also, I think everyone should know that this is a radio show, so it's not as exciting for everyone to know that we have our Valentine is actually like really hot. So like that
I think it should be exciting for everyone because it's something to leave everyone with, like for their imagination.
Yeah,
I don't think I have a very sexy voice. I really don't.
So my friends said they liked your voice.
Thank you.
Don't talk down your voice,
me and my
Max.
friends were talking about you for like an hour after we met.
Nice.
You. Yeah.
Wait, which friend?
Remember my friend who was in the car?
Lola?
Yeah, and then we went to our other friend's house and we all were talking about you for a while.
Nice.
So just this is a kind of boy that you talk about after an hour.
Max is a conversation piece.
He is.
I like to think so.
We are boosting his ego immensely right now, and this is just for you viewers.
You can't see the dimples that that my ex-girlfriend always talked so much about.
That's all you really need to know. He has dead nerve cells in his face.
So
nothing but dead nerves over here.
All right, we're gonna go back to Tiger's Jaw to make you all really sad, because that's how much we care about you, our viewers.
I saw water. I said I wanted to break my friends, but my dependency won't let me away. I like to think that I can work it out some, but I wanna be put into the ground. Today, I needed a break. My plans were up in mountains and I'm drowning in lakes. I swallowed water right in front of her face, just to show that she had nothing to say. I felt lighter. I impressed her. My emotions ran on a pause. I felt just like Brian Jones. I never felt that lost before. I just don't feel incredible, but me. Well, of course I like you. Have time for me. I don't expect you to. I see me become a recluse. It's very easy to seclude. I saw water.
comrades, countrymen, lend me your ears. We're gonna play one more Tiger's Jaw song. What's it called?
Never saw it coming.
This taught us all a lot about being a friend. And this goes along with the theme that we're talking about. And I might start crying. Well,
I'll cry with you.
We're gonna cry
together.
So, if someone calls in and asks, we'll play the song again later with our mics on so you can hear us crying along.
Just weeping.
Sobbing to the beat. Alright, guys. So who's feeling more Tiger's Jaw?
Always.
It's got a lot of Tiger's Jaw on today.
Like, I don't know. I really want to hear some feedback from you guys. Like, someone call in and tell us how Valentine's Day really is making you feel, and I will play songs that reflect that. That's my talent. Figuring out what songs go with what emotion. Naomi, what do you think?
I think
Naomi.
it's actually Naomi, everyone.
No, it's Noms.
Oh, Noms, yeah, that too.
I met a girl named Naomi over winter break. I was in Boston with my friend, and I met all of his friends from high school and stuff like that, and they called their friend Naomi Gnomes.
Ooh, that was my nickname in high school by a bunch of girls. They were like the popular crew.
Gnomes.
And they'd be like, Gnomes! And I would cringe. I'm like, it's Noms.
Oh my god.
I would just they would call me Gnomes and I just wouldn't look at them, I'd turn away.
Oh my god. That sounds so, strange.
Do you remember what you were going to say before that I told you to save?
Oh, you had asked if, one of you guys had asked if we had any Valentines this year, other than me, of course. And I said, no. Then you asked if I was my own Valentine, and I said,
we could just skip right to that. We don't need to explain. So we're gonna. So now, I'm sorry, guys. So what are we gonna say to everyone out there who doesn't have a Valentine?
You can be your own Valentine.
Indeed. Spread that self-love.
This is one thing the station promotes. Of the many things, radical self-love. If you also didn't know,
that's a verb.
This probably hasn't been obvious yet because people have a very strange perception of feminism, but the show so far has 100% been promoting feminism, anti-racism, anti-ableism, anti-bigotry of any kind, and if it comes up, you'll see my inner social justice general. I have gone beyond warrior come out. But Valentine's Day, guys. All right, let's talk a little bit about it. So, does anyone know the origin of it? Would you guys like to know?
Isn't it the day that Cupid died for our sins?
Yeah, that was actually February 15th. There's a lot of confusion there.
Oh, so we could still make it, I guess.
So that's why, because he was around for Valentine's Day, the first one to be Cupid. But then the next day he died for our sins.
Crucified.
And then he came back to life, and that's how he's continuing his work. But I don't remember who crucified him. Do you guys remember that situation?
Hallmark.
Hallmark?
I believe it might have been. It was probably Hallmark.
Yeah.
Cupid was a college student, is what you're saying.
No, not exactly.
Or so.
I actually have no idea what the origin of Valentine's Day is. I was just always it's a Hallmark holiday. They just created it.
He drove all the hearts out of Ireland, right?
There are Hallmark holidays, but not Valentine's Day. Not Halloween. Holidays there's a few Hallmark ones, but most of them are either have real origins or are Christian holidays that have just stolen pagan traditions. But Valentine's Day has to do with this guy whose name was Saint Valentine, and this was around the time somewhere in the United Kingdom. Sorry for my I have approximate knowledge of many things, as you may have accomplished, my audience. And
that's the word.
And around this time, it was illegal for poor people basically to get married. You can only get married if the higher-ups, the royalty, decided, all right, you two are good enough. Yeah, that's where the F word, it's similar to where the origin of the F word, fornication under the consent of the king. Yes, it's similar there. But St. Valentine was like, screw that. I will marry people, even though it's illegal. And that's why he's a saint. And that's why on this day, we celebrate love in the face of adversity.
Shouldn't we just be getting married then?
We don't have to. It's more love in the face of adversity. So if you are
love in a hopeless place.
So if you're Valentine,
you need to quote that. You need to have air quotes for that.
What?
I figured they wouldn't be able to say it, so didn't bother.
Air quotes. But so if you and your Valentine aren't facing adversity, if you are just having an easy, happy relationship, you are doing it wrong. All right.
It's supposed to be struggling.
Let's get back to Tiger's Jaw. What song should we play next?
Plane versus tank versus submarine.
That was the right answer. Naomi has won the game show. This is all, her whole life has actually...
I'd like to thank the Academy, my family, even though they never come in and listen to the show, and my pet plant, yeah.
Pet plant?
What's your plant's name? What's your pet plant's name?
It's just Pet Plant.
Nice.
All right. So here we go, guys, on another adventure.
Lie to me like you used to. Tell me everything is how it should be. Lie to me. Did you have to? 'Cause in the end it never matters what I think. And I can barely tell the sky from the shoreline. And I can see myself reflected in your eyes. And this was all a dream, and it's coming back to me. A portrait in grayscale, a perfect betrayal. And I can't even breathe with this weighing on my chest. You knew me at my best, now I can't even stand on my own.
we make the conversation we're having public, guys?
So
Matt, share the story you were talking about ShopRite today.
Okay, so I was at ShopRite today, and I saw a father and son with a bouquet of flowers. I would assume they're roses, but I wasn't paying enough attention because I was trying to get some granola. And
solid food.
it was like, I just thought about that because, like, I forgot a lot of times today that it was Valentine's Day until I looked down at my shirt because it has Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, and it says love, and it says love is forever. And I wore it just for Valentine's Day. I kept forgetting that it was Valentine's Day because I don't have anybody to celebrate with this year, and this is the first, except for these two lovely ladies right here. But like, you know, I'm everyone's Valentine this year, so I can't really concentrate my efforts that well, and so it's just it's almost a relief this year. Like, I'm really like happy that I don't have to really do anything for Valentine's Day this year. I like it a lot.
Relaxing.
Actually. Oh yeah,
just
absolutely.
Chilling.
I was like yesterday I was just scanning photos like literally for 12 hours straight. And I was like, this is the best. I didn't even shower
really
yesterday.
Nice. Oh, that's even better.
It was great. It was awesome. And none of my roommates were home, so I had the heat on like full blast because it was so cold. And since we live in the sustainable living facilities, they do not use the heat.
Ooh.
It's really fun, but they have plenty of mason jars in the fucking
in the flippin' place.
In the flippin' the cabinets. Anyway, so I was at ShopRite today, and I saw like the bouquet of flowers, and I was like, I just thought about how you had to like he was getting it today, you know, like. I'm like, I don't have any like really epic Valentine's Day stories where it's like, oh my god, I forgot it was Valentine's Day, which is on the calendar. You know, it's not like something you need to pencil in or anything. Like, how do you forget Valentine's Day? You know, how do you forget to do something?
Yeah, the calendar just lets you know.
Exactly, and it's a Sunday this year, so it's not like, oh man, I was at work all week. You know, like you still have another day right there.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just I just don't know what it's really like to have to like, you know, to do something really, really insane for Valentine's Day because. First time I was ever doing something for Valentine's Day, it was a girl I was hooking up with freshman year, and we had been hooking up for like 2 weeks, so it was like not really like, you know, something where I got her like a thing of candy or something. You
That's
know?
still
like,
sweet. Like even for 2 weeks, 2 weeks was early.
But I liked her, you know. Like,
okay,
and
that's
like
nice.
It was like. Now, like, looking back, it's like, you know, oh, like, we were just hooking up. But, like, you know, then it was like we liked each other, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we were, like, seeing each other and, like, talking. Like, it wasn't like, you know, I was just going over to her place and, like, you know, like, that was it. Like,
yeah.
It was like we would be talking most of the time, you know?
That's nice.
And, but it was just sort of, like, not really anything really serious yet. But, like, just got her, like, you know, like, a thing of candy or something. And then she said she had something for me. I have yet to get it to this day. If she's still listening, I know she's still on this campus.
Max's old hookup, if you're out there. He wants his Valentine's Day gift.
That's not true. Absolutely not. And then the next year, I started, like, me and my now ex-girlfriend, we had been going out for, I believe it would be 15 days, 16.
Wow.
Like, when Valentine's Day came around. It was awesome. It was my birthday. And then 4 days later, we started dating. And then it was Valentine's Day 2 weeks later. And then 3 or 4 or 5 days after that is her birthday. This is really, like, you know, like hot month right there, you know, like for candy and presents and stuff like that. It's really awesome. It's really fun to deal with at the time. And I just got her like some sort of chocolate thing, you know.
Yeah, I think all my Valentine's Days have consisted of like me and a bunch of my friends just like getting super stoned and then just going out to like eat. And I remember when we went to Sushi Village, which is like a all-you-can-eat buffet for sushi.
That's
and
amazing.
we were all so sick, and that's how we celebrated Valentine's Day. Otherwise, like, I think there was maybe 1 year I had like a boyfriend and we went and we had dinner or something. I don't even remember. It's like how irrelevant it was at the time because we'd always fight.
Oh my
Valentine's
God.
Day just hasn't worked out. It's just guys, Valentine's Day is always best when it's just like, this is a day for me to love myself.
I agree with that. I think it's like, you know, I hate like the really major Valentine's Day like moves and stuff like that, because it's like it's just that simple. It's a calendar holiday, you know. It's like you can get something from Hallmark, but it's like I feel like, you know, anniversaries are important. Obviously, birthdays are important. I think they're more important than Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day is there whether you have a significant other or not. But, like, you know, those people's birthdays aren't there when they're not there, you know, that kind of thing.
I like Valentine's Day for, like, getting, like, your family things, or, like, just showing your, like, relatives or just people that you care about, just, like, oh, what is that?
A caller?
What's going on?
Oh, I had a question in a text. We need to occasionally, since we're a radio show, let the audience know what's going on. This is our special Valentine's Day episode. We have a guest star, our Valentine, me and Naomi's Valentine, Max.
And yours too, everyone.
Yeah, he is everyone's
I'm
Valentine.
the public Valentine this year.
It was kind of hard to hear me for a bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's everyone's Valentine. His name is Max. And Naomi, could you repeat our phone number?
Our phone number is... I'm banging on the table as like some drums. It's 201-825-1234. And that again is 201-825-1234.
If you have any opinions, ideas, abstract notions about love, infatuation, or Valentine's Day, please call in and tell us. Max, what did you just show me?
Oh, it was a picture that I got from a friend of mine on Snapchat. Luckily, I screenshotted it, and it is very interesting. It is a picture of the village parking lot, and here, wait, let me pull it up. I want to show her before I describe it to all you viewers at home.
Oh.
It's a picture of, I believe, an accident in the village parking lot between a bus and a car, and the caption is, "Bus just smashed this car." That is 2 exclamation points at the end.
That's pretty intense. I hope everyone in that vehicle's all right.
Yeah, right?
All right, guys. I would like to read some quotes from Chuck Klosterman about love, and I think we can talk about them after. This is similar to something we were discussing earlier before the show, about why relationships don't usually work. And there's a quote from my second favorite nonfiction book called Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs, a Low Cultural Manifesto. And the quote is, "But whenever I meet dynamic, non-retarded Americans, I notice that they all seem to share a single unifying characteristic: the inability to experience the kind of mind-blowing, transcendent, romantic relationship they perceive to be a normal part of living. And someone needs to take the fall for this. So instead of blaming no one for this, which is kind of cowardly, or blaming everyone, which is kind of meaningless, I'm going to blame John Cusack." And what he goes on to discuss in the book, from what I remember, which I remember really well because I read this book 3 times, is that the reason why relationships tend to not work out, or we have such high expectations for them, is because romantic movies have set up our idea of how relationships are supposed to go, and how they're supposed to be this amazing instant thing, and they can't just be a casual meeting between 2 people. And another thing he says in the book is that you can't even base how your relationship should be on your neighbor's relationship, because they're trying to base the relationship on another romantic movie. Would you guys like to add?
I read this really interesting thing about how we approach love, and in certain situations for people who've had like very loving parents that have taken care of them since birth and always been like just splitting them with love and just caring for them, even if it wasn't that intense. Just like having your parents around and just taking care of you. I've read that we kind of expect the love that we grew up with is from like initially what we knew since birth is our parents' love, and from that, we expect that when we have our lover, like we get in a relationship, we're just expecting them to take care of us like our parents did. So it's just a matter, we're like basically dumping the needs of a child onto another human being when they're in turn trying to do the same thing. And it's like, because when you think about parents' love is like unconditional, when like usually like a mother gives birth, she loves her child no matter what, even if like you're sneaking out of the house late at night and just like disobeying her like rules and things like that, she'll still just love you no matter what, and we're expecting that from the other partner. It's
like the only love like you know at a certain point, you know, is like you know, your parents' love, if like, you know, if that's what you got from your parents, that is obviously like
Well, there have been many studies seeing how the effects of like how your parents treat you affects what you expect out of relationships, but not that's definitely a negative way to think about it, that unconditional love from your parents is what you expect in relationships. Really, unconditional love from your parents provides a sense of safety and consistency.
It does, and it's nice. So some people just kind of like subconsciously feel that this is what they should be getting from their relationships.
Well, here's the thing. When you're in it's actually good, because in a relationship, you should feel like you are safe and you will continuously get love. Say, I know people who growing up, they had very inconsistent parents, and this is a very common thing where if you have alcoholic parents or abusive parents, you expect relationships to be full of chaos and fighting, and you don't feel like things are okay unless there's
fighting.
trouble. And if you have parents
looking for a fight and that kind of thing.
Exactly. Or
My ex-girlfriend.
or even worse, abusive parents, so you think love is abuse, and you think that if they are hurting you, it means they love you.
Well, this again is just like something that comes off of certain like situations. It doesn't like apply to everyone, but it's just like
No, this is a fact.
No. It just okay.
Is anything a fact?
This is you're right. Good job. In science, nothing is actually proven, but this is a well backed up theory that how your relationship with your parents is growing up, unless you unlearn it through therapy, usually it will affect your relationships throughout your life. But what we were trying to discuss is, like, what do you guys think about how romantic movies have affected our idea of what relationships should be?
I think it's just sort of like it makes you believe that it's going to be like, maybe like so instantaneous, like that you like fall in love with a person, or like what you were saying about how it's like not like, effort that you have to put in. It's just sort of like clear that like, you and this one person are like in love with each other, and it's obvious, and like, you don't even need to do anything to go out of your way to like love them. It's not hard.
Or what you were saying earlier about expecting like certain points or plot points.
Exactly. Like I personally like have been realizing a lot in my own life. 2016 is the year of like realizing things. I don't know if you like heard about that. Kylie Jenner made that prediction. And like I don't know, me and everyone around me we've just been like realizing stuff.
Yeah, the year of self-awareness.
Yeah. And so like I've been like, realizing that like I'm looking at my life as if it's like, like it has a clear beginning, middle and end, and like, there's like conflicts that arise, and like, there's like defined points where things are happening, and it's like that's not really what life is like. But all we have are stories to compare our life to, books and movies and like stories that our parents have told us and stuff like that.
When I was younger, I like watched a lot of animes, and the thing about anime love is that it's so
weird,
like
strange. It's like
it's
that.
It's just
there.
so blown up and out of proportion. Where like most of like the love plots is like the young, like, for the most part, like the young like schoolgirl who's kind of like shy or has like some quirky thing about her who like finds.
But she has big boobs.
Yes, yeah, they always have big boobs. That's just like it's like criteria.
Of course.
And then they find like the older like upperclassmen, they call them senpai, and it's like this whole situation, and then like these or like the senpai's usually just like really like cold, and like she's trying to like break through, and just like always just some like weird thing. So like from watching that, my ideas of love have been like this weird thing of like trying to chase someone, and it's just like not a good representation, because like you shouldn't be chasing someone all the time.
I was called senpai once, and I was like, no,
so
don't do that. It was my speaking partner.
Notice me, senpai.
Yeah, she called me senpai, and I was like, please don't do that. Like, it's fine.
Are like Japanese people aware of like the oddity of being called senpai, or like certain things of like anime that are kind of like hypersexualized, or
no,
like
it's just their life right there. Like it straight up is like their life, but they don't like people like our age in Japan like don't really watch like anime and stuff like that. I'd be like, because it's like cartoons,
Yeah.
It's like the same thing in America,
Okay,
it's just
that
like,
makes sense.
Because like I was like, oh yeah, I'm reading this manga, and then they're like, I haven't read manga since I was 10. Like I'm like, this is the first time I'm reading one. Like I'm 22, like that kind of thing, and it's just like that. It's like, oh, like it's more of like a young, like it's like a kids thing, like, which is like like obvious in a lot of like popular anime like Sailor Moon and stuff like that. Is like obviously like geared towards like like young girls, but like doesn't mean like like I personally am a huge fan of cartoons. Like I don't watch a lot of anime, but like I love cartoons. It's just what I was always watching when I was a kid, and like even when I was not a kid.
Yeah, I still watch cartoons. I'm watching this cool one, Over the Garden Wall, on Cartoon Network. It's really cool. It's kind of like the Brothers Grimm-esque. It's cool.
Like, I feel like Cartoon Network cartoons have gotten really deep and emotional. Like, they definitely reflect the general sense. Like, I've realized, okay, I am intensely into Adventure Time, and I've realized that people my age who, like, have given the show a chance and still don't like it. They just really aren't the type of people who like to feel things really deeply.
Yeah.
And because Adventure Time, I've like read analysis of it and how it's sort of the nostalgia of how you see the world and feel the world as a child, while at the same time the characters themselves are feeling nostalgia because it is literally a post-apocalyptic society. And it's actually... Oh, we're getting a caller. Hello?
Hi, this is Corbin from Radio Bronze.
Oh, God. What's up, Corbin?
I don't want to derail your conversation. I just wanted to update you guys on the scoop.
Oh, with the you've been tuned in with the okay. This is the guy who sent me the Snapchat about the parking lot.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm on the scene. I'm already writing the story.
Oh, good. What's up, Corbin? Like, give us the scoop.
So I'm coming out of the library. No one there. I'm probably the only one who saw this. Real exclusive,
Wow. The
Bus
scoop.
is backing up very slowly. Odd situation. Backing up, honking. I'm like, no, this isn't gonna happen. Is it? This can't. It can't. And then you just hear that crunch.
Oh.
The entire front end of that car.
Oof.
Everybody out of the car, yelling.
Was there anybody
Police
on the
being
bus?
called. Sorry?
Was there anyone on the bus?
I don't know what that bus was doing. There was like a
I
yellow
feel like there was at
school
least
bus.
one person on the bus.
Well,
I think
the
there must have
driver,
been
I
one.
think so?
Yeah.
There must have been one. No, yeah, that's really something else. Wow, like what a Valentine's Day that some people will never forget.
Yeah.
Is everyone safe?
Oh, they're angry.
Oh, okay.
Blood pressure is rising.
I
That's
believe
not
it.
safe.
I mean, that's a Valentine's Day thing,
Yeah.
Blood pressure rising. Yeah, agreed.
They're
Agreed.
probably-
The heart beating.
Probably a lot of them are having realizing terrible things about their relationships, and now they're in a car accident. And it's just, and they feel like it's a sign that it's all coming together.
Yeah.
Corbin, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How was your Valentine's Day?
My Valentine's Day.
Yeah, do you have a Valentine this year? I don't know how you really. I don't know about your love life like right now. We haven't seen each other in a while.
Well, I got Jose.
Ah.
Where
Oh yeah, Jose. I didn't know that you guys were still a thing.
got a bottle of wine.
How's Stella?
I got a lot of Valentines. I got some
fridge
Gilby.
full of
Wait one
Gilby.
second. You've been with Jose. I've been with Jose.
Whoa, you better get tested.
How's Stella doing? You still seeing Stella after all these years?
She's not around today.
What? Oh, this is certainly going to be an interesting Valentine's Day for some
I
people.
I can't afford Stella all the time.
That's
She's
true.
She's a little high
classy
maintenance.
girl.
She's a high class woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you once described Stella as the longest running relationship you've ever had.
That may still be true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But anyway, thank you for the update. If you would like to call in again and give us more of your amazing news updates of anything you see around
Yeah, if
campus.
anything else progresses, if there's a fight or something.
Of course, I'm on the case.
If you
I
would like
will.
to start
I'll
a
let
fight
you know.
also, you can call us during it and we will play it live on air.
Yes.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. No problem, Corbin. See you around.
Great to have you. See you later. All right. Just to finish what I was saying, just because
I completely forgot what we were talking about. I just started thinking about Jose, and that just downhill from there.
Yeah.
I'll just finish the sentence. Just basically, I was saying why Adventure Time is enjoyed more by people who like to feel things on deeper levels, because if you feel nostalgia watching it because of the type of show, and at the same time the characters themselves are feeling nostalgia because it is literally a post-apocalyptic world where and it's actually kind of sad. There's only one human left in the world, and there's many bad things that have happened in their lives. And nostalgia is considered two emotions at once, like sadness and happiness. So it is that on two levels. So you are feeling four emotions at the same time when you watch Adventure Time. But I wanted to read another quote from Chuck Klosterman and see what you guys had to say about it in respect to love and the feelings of it. Are you guys ready?
Of course.
Oh, we got a caller.
Oh, we're getting another caller. This is actually a good time to get a caller since I was not in the middle of a sentence. Hello.
Hello, Kira. My name is Vanessa Mirasola.
Hello. How are you today?
Hello, Vanessa.
I don't know where in your radio show you are because my cell phone lags quite a bit, but I figured since it was Valentine's Day, I'd give my 2 cents about why I think relationships don't work.
Let us hear it, Vanessa.
Please.
Well, as a grade A bona fide lesbian,
Vanessa is
amount of
Vanessa
experience.
is a very grade A bona fide lesbian.
A?
She actually has won awards for being the most lesbian that has ever lesbianed.
Yes, you're right. You're right, Kira. I have significant experience with ladies of all kinds. And let me tell you, relationships never work. They never do work. I think that a big problem is people tend to get too jealous and too clingy too quickly. I think it's an animalistic instinct that we have had, fostered in our DNA for a very long time, but it unfortunately just ruins relationships.
That is a fact.
I think that the jealousy was because back in the day, back in like our, ancestral days, when we were mating, we wanted to make sure that the DNA we were mating with was pure. So jealousy was like, like a primal thing. So it's like, you're not sleeping with anyone else, the kids that you're having, like everything's okay. But now it's just useless. Now it's just like a vestige of like time's past. I think it's unnecessary, and I think it really just drives relationships into the ground. If there was some way to weed out jealousy, relationships might work. But for now, I think that they're impossible, lofty aspirations, and I don't think anyone is truly satisfied in a completely monogamous relationship.
So, what would you do in place of a relationship? Because you still have that desire
No, absolutely, and that's unfortunate because I do have the desire to couple up and be romantic with one specific individual. I think we all do, and I think it's a desire that is very hard to get rid of. But my logical side knows from experience that relationships do not work. I think I'm currently single, playing the field, seeing what my options are. But I think that the only option really is to enter some sort of like healthy, open relationship, some sort of situation where,
Well, Vanessa,
you kind of, I'm sorry?
Oh, I was going to say earlier that I think some people, there's definitely a spectrum of how into jealousy or like how much jealousy affects certain people, and you've probably been exposed to people on like further down the wrong side of that spectrum who do have bigger issues with jealousy. But to have an open relationship, you will find someone who doesn't have those issues, and then maybe you'll even be able to be in a monogamous relationship with them if that's what you're going for, because you won't have to worry about that. But me myself, I've never really had issues with jealousy, like in certain ways, definitely not as much as other people. I've never really understood the thing where you want to go through someone's phone and read their text. I actually had my first roommates in college, and that situation did not work out well at all. There was amazing amounts of jealousy there. She told me that she would have her boyfriend over sometimes, and unless I did something like come out of the shower and like show myself to him naked, then it would be fine, as if for some reason I would do that to try and steal him away. And other things that both of them would apparently do, would call them or text them pretending to be someone else to try and get them to cheat, to prove that they were cheaters.
And that's insane.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person where I can be happy with one girl and I can be having a good time, but the second you try to tell me I can't do something, or I'm not allowed, or I can't talk to so and so, or you treat me with suspicion, that's when my skin starts itching and I need to get out. I need to get out of the bear trap, and I need to move on. And it's almost like a psychological trick for me. Like the second you place any restrictions on me is when I start getting antsy.
I think I understand
that whole sense of not trusting, I can't handle that when someone doesn't trust me. All that does is make me want to cheat more. Like, if you're going to treat me with suspicion and you're not going to trust me, I might as well do whatever I want.
It's one of those things.
Separated.
It's one of those things where it's like you tell the kid, don't eat the cookie. And the kid's going to want to eat the cookie because you just told them you can't eat that cookie, so they're going to want to prove you wrong. But with, like, the whole thing where people are, like, trying to, like, prove that their significant other's cheating, I think that comes from a certain point where they just have, like, their own fears and anxieties about the relationship, and that's not so much of, like, the relationship, it's just more of, like, their part of just acting like that.
Absolutely.
I would like to interject here. I have a friend who, she will remain nameless. She got an apartment with this guy she had been seeing for a very brief amount of time, which is already, I was like, what are you doing?
That's wild.
Anyway, so I was hanging out with her maybe a couple weekends ago, and then it came up. I was like, oh, so how are you and so and so? It's like, oh, he was cheating on me. He told me they moved in together, and she was cheating.
Wait, what's the time frame of when she found out they were cheating? Was it just right away when they moved in?
No, it was a couple of months. It was a couple of months. They moved in, and he's been cheating on her the entire time or something like that. And the thing is, she only found out by snooping on his stuff, and she has found out the last 3 boyfriends that she had were cheating on her by snooping. That's every time, and it's it sucks because it's we don't want you to have to do that, but you're just always right. So how can you really get mad?
Yeah, definitely past experience like that. Kind of
But it definitely
let me just check.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you continue.
No, you first.
I was done.
Oh, okay.
I'll go.
It definitely has to do with the type of personality of the guy she's going after, because I have never dated someone. I feel the personality of the guy I tend to go after, because you tend to date the same person over and over. They are usually the kind of person who just isn't that I need to hook up with everyone. It's impossible for me to control myself. So she probably is attracted.
Do you guys know the type of people you go for?
I realized it.
Do you see a pattern?
I've never gone out with a girl who eats red meat.
Interesting.
All right, every girl I've ever dated, her mom was a smoker.
That could be a segment for people to call in about. Please, if you recognize any patterns in the people you're attracted to,
and very strange patterns, especially not huge.
I'm gonna go now because I have bronchitis, so I'm gonna hang up on you guys.
God, I'm so
good night, sweet
It's been great.
Take care.
I love the show. Goodbye.
Love you.
Bye. Thank you.
See, I've never really been so much in the dating game where I'll do long term. It's always been I had a serious relationship for 2 years, and then all I did was hook up, because it was just that's just felt what I had to do after that, and just been I don't know the type. I feel I'm just so eclectic in taste for people.
Well, that's because you're hooking up. Oh, we're getting another call.
Wow.
We are popular.
It's lit over here.
All right, hello. Who is this?
It's lit in the booth.
I find I like girls with a particularly formidable ankle.
Oh, we have Bill Clinton on the radio right now.
Oh, we're getting a second call. All right. I'm sorry. One at a time. Please tell us your name. And
This is Bill.
Bill.
It's Bill Clinton.
Oh, wow.
Can't you tell?
Okay, and our new caller, what's your name? Hello?
I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, new caller.
I think you can only have one on the line.
Hello.
No,
here's one.
I pushed the wrong button.
We have 2.
Who is our second
How are
caller?
you? This is Dax Abrams. How are
Oh,
you
it's
today?
my sister. All right, Daxie, do you want to call back as soon as this caller is off so you can have your full airtime?
Time to shine.
Yeah, sure, totally.
Okay, I'm going to drop your call, and then we'll focus on Bill Clinton.
Okay, Bill Clinton it is. Wait, can I still change my name when I call back?
Yes, you can, and I'll recognize it's you.
Okay, bye.
All right, so Bill.
Hey, was she single?
No,
I was
actually.
about to ask how your Valentine's Day is going, Bill, because after that defeat in what was it, New Hampshire, or was it New Hampshire, South Carolina?
Yeah, I
New
wouldn't call it quite a defeat. The rising tide has not raised all sails, but that does not mean that we're not going to be able to pull through. God bless America.
God bless America. Wow. So what would you do? You have anything you want to put out on the airwaves, Bill?
Yeah, come on, hook me up with somebody, man. What am I doing here?
Well, aren't
It's
we
Valentine's
married?
Day. Hillary's busy. I got nothing to do. I'm bored.
Monica isn't around.
Well, Bill, you could always try to promote yourself on air. List some of those great qualities that you have for all our viewers out there trying to find a former president to hook up with.
Bill, could you tell us why we should elect your wife over our Lord and Savior Bernie Sanders?
Look. What? I mean, come on.
Wait, is Bernie there with you, Bill?
Is it even? No, we don't really hang out anymore.
No.
Anymore.
What happened?
Like, if you need to even think about this, why Hillary would not name one reason why Hillary wouldn't be a good president. I dare you. Name one.
I'm sorry, what?
Name one reason why Hillary can't be president.
Oh, well, she would be a great president, just like how all of our other presidents have been. But
There you go.
but
Elect
we're
her.
looking for
Elect her.
something
That's
new.
it.
We have
That's-
something better than what we've had
I'm
before.
sorry. Has Hillary ever been president before?
She's been Secretary of State. She's been Senator. She's been First Lady. She's done pretty much everything around that.
Okay, I rest my case.
There you go.
That's the opposite of what you were saying before.
God bless America.
All right, thank you, Bill Clinton. I appreciate your opinion.
Wait, so Bill, you're like looking for a date, is what you're saying, right?
Of course.
That's
yeah.
what you called in
Always,
for, at least.
always.
Okay, so like what kind of skills do you have to offer? Girls like guys with skills, obviously.
I would say my foremost skill was being president of the United States.
Nice.
Okay.
That's always-
That's kind of up. That's up there.
That's
I'd
high.
I'd say I
Well, you
did a
can't
pretty
do
good
it
job
again.
in
Start out a
Bosnia.
Tinder profile with that.
How can you utilize that skill when you can no longer be president?
I still have access to Air Force One, sweetie.
Oh,
Really?
Bill, what is
Secret
your
Service,
ideal
ever
date?
hear of it?
Bill, what is your ideal date?
Ideal date is, a good question. I would say in the Oval Office, under the desk.
I'd say so.
Wine.
I was just thinking that. I feel like
figured.
that's pretty fitting.
That's mine.
All right,
That's mine,
Bill.
too.
I think I'm going to have to exhibit some nepotism here and hang up so my sister will be able to call back, but probably under a different name.
Well, let me know if she's ready.
She is in a relationship right now, but we'll see about her alter
Whatever.
ego. All right. Have a good day, Bill.
Bye,
I
Bill.
can't believe I got through. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Max, would you like to explain that a bit?
That's my good friend Bill Clinton. I usually get him to do his Sublime impression when I run into him.
My sister is calling back. Hello.
Hello.
Who is this?
My name is Monica.
Monica.
Oh my God.
Is it Monica Lewinsky?
Yes, it is.
This is great.
So, how was it when you sucked the president's dick?
Well,
Can we say that on air?
I am going to
Maybe.
give you all some inside information about the president's penis. Well, the former president's penis.
Go
What are
on.
we talking about, girth?
I'm sorry, what?
How's the girth of it?
The girth?
The girth.
Yeah,
We're talking
the
about
girth.
girth
Oh.
here. It's
Yeah.
a big topic today. Is
Yeah.
girth.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I would
It's
love
width.
to add.
It's like circumference.
Yeah, circumference of it. Yeah, that's a good way to
Oh.
describe it.
It's a
Oh,
good,
it
I'd
was,
say that's the right word.
Well, that's not exactly the most part that stood out. The part that stood out to me about the former president's penis was the spikes around it. You see, of these metal sort of spikes, which made it very excruciating around the lips.
Like it's like cutting in and out for me.
Oh, you're not hearing it well?
Yeah. Sorry.
Daxie, can you try and talk again?
I'm not sure if you heard this breaking news, but the former president Bill Clinton had metal spikes coming from around his penis.
I did hear that.
Monica, do you have a Dax Abrams with you?
Yes, I do. If you guys don't want to hear about my dick sucking anymore.
Yeah. I think we'd like to hear from her because honestly, Monica Lewinsky, you're not really known for much else, and
It's sad, honestly.
I know, and maybe
All right, fine.
Accomplish
Everyone always
something
wants
new.
to talk to Dax. Dax. Here, Dax. Here, they want to talk to you. Hello.
hello, who is this Dax Abrams? Hello.
This is Dax speaking. How are you today?
All right, Daxie. So we're talking about Valentine's Day. Naomi, what kind of questions do you have for Daxie about
For
this?
Dax, what is your ideal Valentine's Day?
It's a very good question. I would say I have not
Is
yet
it today?
reached my ideal Valentine's Day. I have had some great ones, and I actually do have a dinner reservation tonight at 8 at a French restaurant.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I
French.
went there last
Language of Valentine's
year,
Day.
the same restaurant. But, that's not ideal. My ideal Valentine's Day would be horse riding through Arizona and a beautiful, beautiful weather,
Sunset.
and some mimosas after, but not many, just one, maybe half of one. And, some chocolate, of course.
What's your worst Valentine's Day that you've ever had?
Good right here. That's a good topic.
Okay.
I like that.
Oh, Jesus. I've tried to mentally block those out. We all do that.
If
course.
it's too intense,
But-
you don't have to share.
I mean, I would say I don't remember the most horrible. It probably involved, some Grand Theft Auto or stuff like that, that kind of nature. Yeah.
Interesting.
Why would you block
Yeah.
that out? That sounds exciting.
That sounds like my
Well, you
ideal
know,
date.
getting thrown out of cars and kidnapped. You know, it's just like, it's not really romancy.
Daxie, do you notice any
It
patterns?
depends what you're into.
I mean, it's like, there's a whole new breed of romance these days, It's like a
Yeah.
lot less of like, like actually asking a girl out on a date and more kidnapping, it seems. More popular.
You know, that is really hot and all, but, it's not, I'm more of the traditional Valentine's
He's
person,
the traditional gal right here. Not into the whole
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto
Yeah,
thing.
until like
Scene.
getting your swept off your feet.
Daxie, do you notice
The
any
stolen vehicle.
any patterns in the men you're attracted to that you keep dating?
People you're attracted
The
to.
humans,
Ah.
the aliens.
Absolutely.
The
You know, I
things.
wanted to give my input on that. I heard you ask that question, to give a call and, express those patterns that I've had. I personally have had a similar group of men I've dated. They all have to be much more laid back than I am.
Yes, my
They've
sister's
always
very
been
intense.
quiet types.
Is it possibly more tense than
So
her?
like
Intense.
level you out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they have to be the one to be there and be like, Zach, you need to calm your ass down. If I had another
Daxie, no
person as
cursing
crazy
on
as
the
me-
radio.
She's talking about
Oh,
donkeys.
I apologize. That was as in the donkey. I did not mean. Anyways, if they had been as outlandish as I am, it might have resulted in fires and bad things.
Fires.
Fires, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely a lot of fires.
Well, Daxie,
Arsenic?
since we've reached the midpoint of our show, I think it's time for a musical interlude. And I want to play a song that is part of a playlist I made when I was having a really rough time after my last breakup. And the playlist is called Get Over It, because that is how I talk to myself in my head. And
That's very good. All right, I am excited to hear this song and for a great intermission.
Do you have any
for having
anything
me.
else to add?
Well, I hope everyone has a fantastic Valentine's Day and, keep out of the Grand Theft Auto and get on those horses in
course.
Arizona.
Hell yeah.
Thank you,
Heck yeah.
Dax.
okay.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Goodbye, my lovely sister. The song is not playing yet.
That's interesting.
Oh, I see why. Let me try that again, guys. Gotta.
Okay, so,
There you go.
so the last time it doesn't do it twice, just does it once, and it's 3. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's only that once where it just does it once.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. We're ready, Joe.
Go ahead.
I am so mad at you for making me such a bastard, for giving me such high standards. I'm mad at you. But I'll find you inside of someone else, even if finding you in someone else is hard to do. This never-ending pursuit of happiness is getting harder and harder to accomplish. And the lies I tell myself just so I can get by are getting less and less convincing all the time. And I just can't shake the feeling that I'll be alone forever. Please tell me that's not the case. So I will go look for things I find important and qualities that are unique and traits I find attractive in other people.
We have received a caller right now. Oh, I think they hung up.
Oh, well, call back.
Yeah, call back, caller. I'm sure whatever you had to say was really important. We're gonna play another song from my playlist.
I'm surprised how many people are calling in. Like, I mean, when I have previously been on the air before, but it wasn't like really a call-in type of show. It was just like, I just played music for the entire time.
Well, this show, I really like to know what people think. I really like
The
to
pulse of the campus, you know?
Yeah, I like
That
to
kind of
get
thing.
different perspectives. I like to hear existential ideas. All right, let me see what else do I have on my Get Over It playlist that is appropriate for the radio. Oh, the caller's coming back.
Here we
Why
go.
don't you guys talk to them while I figure this out?
Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
Hey, what's up?
what's up?
Who is this?
Hello?
Hello? Who is this?
This is Billy Bob.
Billy who?
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob
Okay.
Thornton?
Yeah.
A lot of Bills on the show today.
Yeah. How's it going, Bill?
Hello?
Yeah, that song was terrible.
Oh, wow, that's rough.
I'm sorry that your life is the kind in which you have not grown to enjoy the experience of folk punk. Maybe one day you will realize the thrill and emotion of it. But to an outsider who has not become accustomed to it, it can be strange.
Kira's looking at me like I should be saying something. I have nothing to say.
Do you have anything to say, Bill?
Bill?
Bill, you there?
Bill, you're making this really hard for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Wait, is this Hamza?
Yeah.
All right, so I have a dilemma right now, okay?
Okay, what's
No,
up?
guys, I have a dilemma right now.
Yeah.
All right, so some certain person was supposed to take me out on Valentine's, but, you know, she's doing some radio talk show host thing, and, you know, that hurts me. I'm totally kidding.
Look, Hamza, you sent out a really vague message to me about going out. I thought I had time. I didn't know it was actually Valentine's Day. I was really tired when you sent that. I'm really not making this easier for myself. Alright, so all of you that don't know, Hamza messaged me saying, oh, you know, like, let's do something for Valentine's Day. You know, you're gonna take me out? And I was like, oh yeah, totally, I'll find something to do. I did not find anything to do, because I am a piece of garbage that totally forgets to do things. And he's calling angrily now. But you get to listen to my beautiful voice, so I think that's a great Valentine's.
Yeah, it is. Alright. Well, Hamza, since you didn't like that song, I think I'm gonna play more songs that you probably won't like.
I was kidding. I actually liked that song.
Oh, that's nice.
I was just angry.
Oh.
Full of rage. A lot of people are like that on Valentine's Day.
I'm getting texts from a Zoe Rose, and I would like to thank her for her positive comments to
What
the
are
show.
your comments? I'd like to know.
Oh, just general things like, hold on, let me go find them. She sent me a snap earlier. I don't remember what it said. Oh, our caller hung up.
Bye,
And-
Hamza.
And and LMAO, that song sucked. I'm dying. Just finding humor in the conversations.
That's always good.
All right, guys. I think the next song I want to play is either Jawbreaker by Candy Hearts or 12 Feet Deep. But the thing about 12 Feet Deep is we can listen to the original or the remastered version.
Original. Absolutely the original. The remastered version is terrible, if you ask me.
This is why Max is my shared Valentine, guys. This is why.
He's mine too.
He's
And all of
everyone's.
yours.
Everyone's. There's enough of me to go around, guys.
And enough of his appreciation for the classics. All right, this is from my favorite album called "I Hate My Friends." It is eternally true to my heart. All right. Wait, where is it? Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Where is it? All right, guys. Noms, stall for me.
Ooh, stalling. This is a big job. I don't know if I can keep up with this. Guys, I'm not feeling really, chatty. I don't know what it is. I know I'm supposed to be doing this radio show, but I just don't feel very chatty.
We've been pretty chatty.
Have
We've
we?
been chatty. I think we've been chatty.
I always do this thing where I feel like I'm not talking enough and everyone's talking exponentially.
I never have that problem.
No?
I've never had that problem. I always feel like I'm talking way too much.
You're a talker. You are a
I am,
talker.
yes.
I'm not so much of a talker. I'm more of a listener.
Yeah.
So
I've
doing
noticed.
a radio show for me is a challenge where it's in my head it's Nom, say something.
First time talker, long time listener.
All right, guys. So I'm on YouTube now, and now we have a third option. Either
YouTube.com?
What?
I'm clarifying.
He's right. It is YouTube.com, not
No, it is.
YouTube.net.
Actually, it's the app.
Oh,
So neither.
YouTube.app.
There's no dot.
I think
But
it's a space.
so
That's
now
what-
we have
no,
a
that's what
third
it
op.
says on the
Well, actually, another two
On the code.
divergence of options. So it can either be the original 12 feet deep or the acoustic version of 12 feet deep.
Original, absolute original. I'm an original
Alright.
type of guy.
All right, all right. Some
I'm
people.
like famous original Ray's Pizza in the city.
All right, guys. Here we go.
'Cause you are water 12 feet deep, and I am boots made of concrete. We'll wear cool clothes to show some skin, flash of fakes to both get in. Now we're dancing, we're so drunk, we are so cool, we are so punk. And yes, we can keep living like this, as long as you're here, I will live like this. Since when did I want to hear your voice? Not become a good excuse. Calling you 3 in the morning, laugh at sleep that we'll both lose. Maybe college won't work out, I can come live at your house. I'm supposed to be at class now, but my roommate just passed out. And I cannot get in my room, get all my books and what I need. You're all I need, but I am pretty sure your parents will never see. I let it be, 'cause it was never meant to be. I let it be. Cause you are water 12 feet deep, and I am boots made of concrete. We'll wear cool clothes to show some skin, flash of fakes to both get in. Now we're dancing, we're so drunk, we are so cool, we are so punk. And yes, we can keep living like this, as long as you're here, I will live like this. I get left out, I get left out of every plan they make. That is what I have to do. Be the only kid from high school who is still in love with you. Maybe college won't work out, I can come live at your house. I'm supposed to be at class now, but my roommate just passed out. And I cannot get in my room, get all my books and what I need. You're all I need, but I am pretty sure your parents will never see. I let it be, 'cause it was never meant to be. I let it be, 'cause it was never meant to be. 'Cause you are water 12 feet deep, and I am boots made of concrete. We'll wear cool clothes to show some skin, flash of fakes to both get in. Now we're dancing, we're so drunk, we are so cool, we are so punk. And yes, we can keep living like this, as long as you're here, I will live like this.
All right, guys. I'm gonna share a little anecdote about that song. So this playlist I made it right after this happened because I realized I should make a playlist like this because I was in the shower and I was just playing the album I Hate My Friends by the Front Bomb straight through, and when it got to 12 Feet Deep, I just burst out crying and singing along and singing along to the whole album. And that's what the Front Bottoms are for, to cry and sing along to, and they know it.
Absolutely.
But scream along. It's a great band because you can scream along with your friends at a party, or you can cry alone in the shower to it. And I've actually done this at more than one party. I feel like it's a talent of mine. Found a group of people who really like the Front Bottoms, who also can give me access to playing music, and have created. Naomi was there for one of the times when I just created a front bottoms emotional pit of screaming and yelling and crying over their beautiful songs.
I actually became friends with some people who I still consider them friends. I haven't hung out with them yet this semester, and therefore like not since like last year. But we became friends because me and my one friend, we were coming home from the village one night. We used to live in the CPAs, and we were very drunk, and we were like singing some Front Bottom song, just me and her, as we were walking back, and then like as soon as we stopped, we overheard somebody else singing a different Front Bottom song, and we were like, who was that? But like we knew who they were, but we weren't friends with them yet, so we went over to their place and like we just like we were there like for hours, just like singing along and like, you know, like playing guitar and like that kind of thing, you know. And then I remember it was like I was offered to hit my friend's bong, and like he offered it to me, and then I was like, and then like I did a no thank you gesture, and then he offered it to me, like he did the same thing but like harder, you know, like he did the same exact action, but he's like really gave me like this like look in the eyes. It was so interesting. Oh my god, I love George.
Naomi, you had a song you wanted to play, even though we're on sort of I can't.
Oh yeah.
Is it on Spotify?
I don't know. You're better off just going to YouTube.
All right. Even
recollection, I can't say.
Since we have been discussing our love for the Front Bottoms, I will get back to them soon because I'm sure many of our listeners also feel the same way, or I hope they do, because you might be listening to the wrong station because our title is Contribute to the Chaos. We're getting a caller, and the Contribute to the Chaos is a line from one of their most well-known songs, which is Twin Size Mattress. Who is this calling in?
Hey, this is Corbin from Radio Bronze again. I can't believe I got through.
Yeah. What's up,
Corbin?
Hey, I just want to give a shameless plug for my show while you guys are on the air. It sounded like you had a lot of listeners.
Corbin, we are getting another call, so give me 1 second just to let them on the air and let you finish talking, and then we'll get to that.
All right. Sure.
Hello, who's this?
Hello there. This is my name is Juno.
Juno, could you hold on?
What's up?
Yeah.
Could you let me just let this other person finish plugging themselves? We'll drop that call and get to you.
Cool. Drop me.
Awesome.
No, not yet. We'll
no,
leave.
okay.
Yeah, okay. Corbin, plug your show.
All right. So I'll keep it quick. Tuesday, February 23rd, Radio Bronze is going to be doing the dating game.
Ooh.
So any singles out there should be contacting me.
Are we talking about people or dollar bills?
I think you get it. I don't think I need to explain myself. I think the listeners.
Of course.
So any singles, yeah.
Very arrogant.
That want to play this, that want to play the game. Obviously, the best format for meeting people is the dating game.
On the radio,
so we think it's pretty important to do on campus.
It's
gay, straight, bi, whatever, don't care. Male, female. If they can reach out to me, it'll be completely random who's chosen. But we're doing it.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Any listeners out there, if you're interested, contact Corbin. He is Corbin. How should we contact you if we're single, ready to make?
Email me.
Email you, and what would your email address be?
That'd be chirschh@rampo.edu. But anybody who knows how to work Google would just type in my first name and probably just find me like that.
I can't imagine how many Corbins there are at this school.
There might be one. I thought I saw one other one. So just remember, it's the last name with the H.
Yeah.
A lot of H's.
A lot of H's. You should see his phone number. So many twos.
H's
hell yeah, a lot of twos.
All right, Corbin. We're gonna
All right,
get
thanks for the time.
to our good
Can't
friend.
believe we got through.
All right.
All right. Bye. Juno, you're back on.
Hello.
Hey,
Juno,
Juno.
what's up? How's your Valentine's Day, Juno? I saw on your Snapchat you got some Pepsi.
Well, that was a lie. I only got the Doritos.
Okay.
That was just my mother. She doesn't let me buy soda when I'm with her. So I'm probably going to go to the C-store later when I go back to school and, get a 2-liter.
Nice. Get a 2-liter for the day.
For the rest of the night, listen, I go through that.
I know. Juno, it's so bad for you. I know. You know how bad soda is for you.
You prefer Pepsi over Coca-Cola, right?
Absolutely.
Have you seen my Pepsi hoodie?
I have not. You
I
should
have.
show it to me.
Here, I posted on Snapchat the other day. I'll text it to you in a second, all right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome.
So, Juno, did you want to say anything for the show on any topic that we were discussing?
Gosh, I don't know. I like.
Juno, do you notice
I'm not in a relationship right now, but every Valentine's Day I've had has either fallen on like a school day or I was in like a long distance situation. So it was really like an exchange of text.
Ah, damn.
Oh,
wow.
that's rough.
Juno, have you noticed any patterns in the people you're attracted to?
Totally. I am, and this is really bad because it falls into fetishization. I'm a big fan of people of Asian descent, even though I've never actually been with one or hooked up with one. They're just very beautiful in my eyes.
They're attractive people. Like, wow.
Asians?
What, like when I was in Japan, like everybody was just gorgeous. Oh my god, it was
They
crazy.
have good skin.
And a lot of the guys there were huge like Asian girl fetish people, and it was just so annoying. Like, because I never consider myself one of those people. I still don't. But like they were just so gorgeous. It's insane. Like everybody there is beautiful. Everybody.
Juno, I think the idea is not
Beautiful
exactly
babies.
what you know you're attracted to, but what you may not have realized that like is a repeating common trait in the people you date.
It's interesting. I was in a relationship with someone for 5 years, and they were Portuguese and Brazilian.
We're not just talking about race.
Well, no, but then later on, I hooked up with someone like last October, and went on to find out that they are also Portuguese and Brazilian.
Wow.
And
so
you're
Juno,
Brazilian,
what is,
right?
Yeah. What is your nationality again, Juno?
I'm Brazilian.
Okay.
Totally. But it was very interesting, and they also lived in the same like city that my last relationship person was in.
Were they from like a city in America or
Newark.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I'm sending you the picture of my hoodie now.
Yes.
So you're on the phone with us, I remembered, but you know, might be buzzing up against your ear.
Oh, there I go. I got it.
I'm glad.
Juno, is that all you had for us today?
I think so. I think I'm just good at listening.
All right.
But
If you have anything else to contribute,
long-time
you can
listener.
call back
Keep
later.
on doing it. You're doing a great job.
I think you're doing excellent.
Thank you. I just got your sweater. It's really good.
Thank you. Thank you. I got that. I got that in America Town.
America Town. Where's that?
Osaka.
Oh, not in America.
No, yeah, that'd be it.
All right, Juno.
All right. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Juno.
It's great to have you.
It's always a pleasure.
All right, since we're on the topic, I think I'll go over patterns I realized. Are you guys interested?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So here are the patterns I realized in people I date, in men specifically. They have really, really big eyes.
Oh.
Like fish.
Like fish. Like I don't know what it is. If a guy has big eyes, all his flaws are gone to me. And
just gotta bat those eyes.
Yeah,
those
and
big
like
eyes, them big old eyes.
along with like other
Jeepers creepers.
other forms of symmetry, and like closer to my taller than me but closer to my height. Usually, I don't know if this is like has to do with what I'm attracted to or if it's just a common trait that is that like I don't see because of my attraction to them, but usually they're arrogance. Hello, caller. Let me just finish what I was saying, and we'll get to you. And one of the last things. Oh, now I'm forgetting because I was distracted.
By you, the caller.
By the caller.
Who
yeah.
is the
All right,
caller?
Caller. I'll finish what I was saying after we get to you. What's your name, sir?
Well, I'm on, right? I'm on the air.
Oh my God! Look, guess who it is now.
This is 2016 presidential candidate Bernie Sanders calling. I just wanted to let you know that I always find that I'm with women that have a slightly longer second toe, longer than the big toe.
You know, I was just looking at an article.
Every woman I've ever been with in my life has had a longer second toe.
I have a friend who said he asked if he asked us, me and our group of friends, if any girl that we've ever hooked up with has ever tried to put a finger up our butts. And we all said, like, no, I
have never done that.
I've literally, like, I've just never experienced that, you know? I know it's not, like, the weirdest thing in the world for somebody to, like, try on somebody.
Yeah.
He says he's never hooked up with a girl who hasn't attempted to do this.
Really?
an impressive streak.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Is there something like in the pheromones that like he would be attracted to?
He's from Sweden, so I don't know what's going on over there.
For men, the butthole is like their G spot.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I wouldn't say I'm familiar, but I've heard of it. I don't know if I could say I'm familiar with that on the radio, but. So Bernie, how's it going?
It's going very well. I'd like to be more intimate on Valentine's Day, but of course I'm very busy campaigning.
Of course.
I'm cooking right now, actually.
Cooking?
What are you cooking?
What are you cooking, Bernie?
I'm making soup.
What kind of soup?
It's escarole.
Of course, Bernie. Bernie, why aren't you making matzo ball soup, Bernie?
What kind of Jewish grandfather are you?
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Oh my God.
Bernie, did you have anything important to share with us that we need to know?
I just wanted to tell you you're doing a very good job of the show. It's college campuses that are the most important breeding grounds for information in the nation. Get out there, vote in the primaries, vote for Bernie.
Feel the burn, guys.
Yeah, feel the burn. I am definitely feeling the burn. Thank you so much for calling in.
Speaking of feeling
the burn, I can't believe I got through.
My mom of sorts, like my mom's sorts, but my mom likes to like read a lot of articles, and she like I come home last night. It's like 11:30 at night. She goes, Naomi, and I'm like, yeah, Mom. She goes, did you know that about 750,000 Tinder users have pubic lice? And I was
that's
like,
a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
How many people can even be using? That's a lot of louses.
Yeah.
It's many louses. How many people can even be using Tinder? That like almost a million of them
I think that's
lice.
how successful Tinder is in having hookups, that it's spreading its own lice, Tinder lice.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's like the Rutgers herpes.
Yeah, but it's just like for all Tinder users, because it's not in one specific area. We're all just maybe it could be actually if it's 750,000 people that have that, it could be.
I remembered the other common factors that I was trying to go over.
Of what?
Of the guys.
Okay, so go for it.
Okay, they're usually actors or artsy in some way, and usually they make me feel like they're smarter than me, but they think I'm smarter than them. So I get the.
It's like a little bit of both, Like you both just think the other person's the smart one.
I get the ego booster, and I also get the like, oh my God, I'm learning so much.
Actually, I just realized
that's good.
Traits with guys that I end up being attracted to, they're usually the complete opposite of me, where I think I'm very artsy and I'm very like in tune with myself and things like that, and I'm very like grounded in that sense. Where I go for guys that are very arrogant. They're really into sports, and I do not watch any form of sports. I'm not interested whatsoever. They're like those kind of guys that just wear Jordans and like joggers and are just like
gotta get some Jordans.
That they'll text you like, "What you doing?" Like something like that, and I don't know. I think I fall for it because it's just like so sleazy.
That's amazing.
And it just gets me, even and I've like hooked up with guys who are artsy and things like that, and it just irks me because I just feel they're so sensitive. I'm like, oh my gosh, like get a backbone.
I would like to do one more shout out to Zoe Rose because she shared our post.
Zoe's great.
She's
everyone.
a beautiful
Thanks, Zoe.
person.
You have a beautiful name.
Yeah, she's just so full of love and joy and shares it.
Zoe makes me smile.
But Naomi, why?
Why does Zoe make me smile?
No, well but also why
the jocks?
Why the jocks?
Go for the jocular.
I don't know why the jocks. Like I really have to think about that one and like get in tune with myself. I think it's like maybe in a form of like a point of like being sadistic towards myself, like I go through this horrible thing, like experience this.
No, I know what you mean.
It's like this is not anything you're interested in, but go through it. And I do this thing where like I'll see someone who's really just that's different from me, like I had roommates that were just so different from me, but I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna try different people, and like in the end, it's just horrible. It's like we did not get along, and that's how like any guy I've like really been attracted to try to like pursue things like that.
The 2-year thing, was that like a jock type?
He wasn't like he did play baseball.
Ooh. Not the most athletic.
He was arrogant. He was
hitting all the checks right here.
He was kind of racist.
Okay.
Too. He
is it an X if they're not racist? Like
right.
You need to feel superior.
I think I like date them because I realize I'm such a good person when I date them that I'm like, you know what, there's like I can
boost for
like
yourself.
it's an ego boost where it's like you're so horrible. I'm gonna try to fix you, but in the meantime, I feel so great about myself because I know I'm not as bad as you.
Oh my god.
I've been in so many relationships where like I thought that they had like good views, and then like I'll find little bits of internalized misogyny that like I'm just like, oh no, like even like guys who like call themselves feminists but like don't realize that like they mansplain everything. Or one guy who I actually met on OkCupid. I have made 2.5 relationships from that website.
I thought you were gonna say 2.5 accounts.
And
a lot of emails.
But I didn't. He had on his profile he was a red pill enthusiast.
Oh.
I did not know what that was.
Wait, what does that mean?
So
explain that because I have an idea. It's obviously a reference to the Matrix, which is what we're in.
The red pill. It's basically an area of Reddit that is like. yeah. You can just smell the Reddit on some guys.
Oh.
But
there was a dude in my photography class a couple years ago who was just on Reddit openly in class, like every day. And one time I ran into him in the village. I was extremely drunk, and he was also extremely drunk. And he says, "Hey, you're in my photography class." I'm like, "Yeah, you're that dude who's always on Reddit," and walked away. I'm sorry. Continue.
It's okay. That was I enjoyed that, but
a friend of mine hooked up with him once.
Side note.
Sidebar.
So red pill enthusiasts. So it's generally like a section of the men's rights activists part of Reddit where
at least somebody's
you
fighting
mean
for
the
us.
menace. Like
Meninist.
Oh no, that came after.
Okay.
These are
it's an offshoot branch.
That was supposed to be like a parody that people took
strain.
seriously. Men's rights activists are the people who just took it seriously from the start. But or parody, I don't know. But it's like the idea is
Are you familiar with Poe's Law?
Let me just finish explaining this and then. Because I'll get confused. But the red pill, obviously, like they're saying, we took the red pill. We're seeing the conspiracy of feminists trying to overthrow us. But I went on the red pill, the closest thing I could find of the website. And if you guys have heard of The Game, which is a a book that is renowned by...
Oh my god, somebody was just talking about this the other night. Oh my god.
Please let me
I know about that.
Let me just like give our audience play-by-play of all of this. So
I thought they meant the game, like, you know. It's like, oh, you just lost.
I just lost the game.
Yeah, by the way, game losers over here.
And so, what I was saying was that The Game was a book for pickup artists to figure out ways to manipulate women into liking them, and it involved many forms of negging. And negging is sort of doing negative things to lower their self-esteem to make them like you. Like, here's an example. One thing would be you see a girl. And instead of going up to and complimenting her, you say, "Oh, you have something in your teeth," or something like that. So she knows that you're noticing her. She gets that feeling, but she also feels insecure and a feeling like she needs to prove herself to you. Now the idea of the red pill. The red pill, it's said on the website that we now know because of all this feminism in our culture, like infecting the women with like respecting themselves.
The nerve.
Exactly. The game and those methods won't really work anymore. So now we have to find... So the idea of it is like finding new ways to manipulate women by...
This is the matriarchy at work right here.
By pretending we respect them. So I found out that basically that person I was dating had just found tactics to pretend I respect them. This was
pretend he respected you.
Yeah, pretend. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Pretend he respected me.
I don't know which one's worse.
Yeah, this was when I was like 17, so obviously I wouldn't fall for this now. But yeah, that was
we all like to believe that we wouldn't fall for those things.
No. The thing that's what I'm trying to say. That
if it didn't hit you then and it hit you now instead, what do you think?
Well, no. Here's what I'm saying is now I am like I used to think that if someone had different political views than me, it's okay. We can like work it through, or it's a good thing. But now I am. Now, like, if I see the slightest hint of any type of misogyny or racism or anything, I'm just like, I can't do that.
It's so interesting how those are political views.
What, guys?
I know.
For, like, people you are interested in, what are certain, like, minor weird, like, qualities you are just like, I need this, like, in a partner? Like, not like, oh, they need to be kind and caring and things like that. Like, just, like, the little things. Like, for me personally, I notice, like, in a significant other, like, I need them to have big hands, and I need that, like, for a male to, like, refer to themselves as a man. Like, Yeah, I've had like someone call that prefer like, oh, you know, like me, like they refer them as a boy, and I was like, oh no.
That's okay. That's a little weird. Yeah, but wow, that's a little weird. I'm a boy.
It's like poking a Pinocchio. Sorry.
I just need them to be like I usually like what gets my interest besides like obviously attraction is them being like really nice, and not just like nice to me, like nice to everyone. I really just like people who spread niceness, and it makes me just feel more comfortable and feel like the world is a better place. I like people who make me feel like that.
This is more what you were saying earlier about how you were going out with like going after jocks and stuff like that. 2 girls that I used to hook up with joined sororities.
Ooh.
So that's like the same kind of thing, you know, like
you like sorority girls.
Not really. No offense. No offense if any. No.
He just needs to make it proven that he does nothing against them.
No offense to any sorority girls who might be listening to this.
I would like the listeners to know that I have had to constantly adjust my co-host and guest Mike because of their increasing and decreasing volumes.
You get really excited, and I think that's good for the show.
It is.
I like being excited. I'm an excitable guy.
But I would just keep the same distance from the mic.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, it's it's strange. It's not like two completely different people, very different people. One was the my first Valentine. Like we stopped hanging out as much because she joined a sorority, and it was like, you know, I kind of bummed me out back then. Now I like literally have like no hard feelings about it like whatsoever. You know, it's not really like anything you know. And then like another girl who I previously like, we were kind of hooking up for a while. Like, you know, very, very attractive. But after a while, I was just like, wow, like I can't deal with talking to this person anymore. It's just so annoying. Oh my god. No offense if you're out there. But and I was also starting to see somebody else at the time, so I was like, okay, I wanted to take one thing very seriously, and with this, like, I just had to end it, you know? It was like that kind of thing. And then she ended up joining a sorority, and I still see her around all the time, and I'm like, hey, we live in the same quad, this is awesome. Oh wait, me and both of these people live in the same quad. That's right, quite a neighborhood.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, right? It's quite
funny
a
how life turns out.
Yeah.
All right, guys, how would you feel about me reading this Chuck Klosterman quote about infatuation?
Go for it.
All right. So again, Chuck Klosterman is my favorite nonfiction author, and this is from his book Killing Yourself to Live, 85% of a True Story. I have never understood the concept of infatuation. It has always been my understanding that being quote-unquote infatuated with someone means you think you are in love, but you're actually not. Infatuation is, supposedly, just a foolish, fleeting feeling. But if being in love, quote-unquote, is an abstract notion, and it's not tangible, and there is in no way to physically prove to anyone else, well, how is being in love any different than having infatuation? They're both human constructions. If you think you're in love with someone, then you feel like you're in love with someone. Then you obviously are. Thinking and feeling is the sum total of what love is. Why do we feel an obligation to certify emotions with some kind of retrospective, self-imposed authenticity?
So the thing about that is, like, I think we, like, as per the idea of love and what love is, we try to think it's like the sincere love that we have for someone as their being and like all their flaws, where infatuation is kind of like at face value. When you think you're in love with someone, it's like you kind of, for the most part, infatuation plays when the role, it's like you meet this person at a party and they're really nice and you have a great conversation, maybe you hang out afterwards, you don't know much about their life, you just know like whatever they tell you, you're not a part of their life every single day, you don't know their everyday actions or what they say.
It's kind of like, you know, flirtatious.
Yeah.
Like maybe you, like, you know, kissed or something.
Yeah,
it's like,
something
ooh,
like that. And it's like you get infatuated with this idea of the person because they're feeding you like their best person, I guess. Because I guess, like, you know, you meet someone the first time, you're trying to, like, in that sense, like, leave a good impression. Of
course.
And so you start to, like, think, if you're really interested in this person, like, wow, they're so great. They said this thing and that, and they're like, they gave me a kiss and yada,
But when
yada,
does it become love?
It sometimes it usually doesn't. Sometimes, usually the thing about infatuation, it doesn't turn into love. It just kind of turns into,
it just
like,
kind of fizzles. You know?
Yeah, it fizzles. Like
at a certain point you can't really like just care anymore, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
some guy I met
you get
at a
smitten, like you just get really like excited. Oh my god, he texted me or something like that, or like they go, wow, I saw them and they said hi, blah blah blah, and you just it's kind of like you don't know what's going on in their life, or you're not so part of their life so much, and your like imagination is running rampant, like just of the idea and little things that like you like encountered with them, and that's infatuation.
Well,
love is an everyday thing.
From a standpoint of like how the chemicals and stuff work in infatuation and love like are kind of the same thing, because all it is a lowering of serotonin, which causes a more depressed like state where your thoughts loop more and you're thinking more about this person, and oxytocin is the affection you feel for them that causes you to feel connected to this other person.
Would you say love is like some form of depression then?
Yeah.
Would you say love is a battlefield?
Oh my god. But this reminds me of when I was in my longest relationship, there was a really intense infatuation at the beginning, and I never really thought like I was in love, because after it I was like, okay, love is supposed to be this even bigger thing that happens after, and I kept waiting, and like nothing really changed, because really what it's supposed to be is that you're just attached to them after, and at some point like you say it arbitrarily that you love them, and that's what creates a lot of confusion about what relationships are supposed to be. But
see, for me, I was hooking up with someone for a little while, and it was all completely just like being smitten and infatuated with one another, that we just continually like kept seeing each other, and it just got to a point where we were like together every day, and it kind of felt like in that form where you think of infatuation supposed to turn into love, where it just kind of died.
Became a relationship?
It like, yeah, where it's supposed to become a relationship, it didn't happen, and we were just both at the end like, what are we doing? We're bored. Alright, see you whenever. Ooh. And this like spanned out for about like 5 months or so.
Damn.
So the thing, because the thing is like when a lot of people expect the feelings of infatuation to like last, and you're not in a relationship if it's not lasting, but really like people expect the feeling of love to be like the feeling of infatuation, but really like a relationship is just enjoying spending time with someone, and all it is the sum of the continuous requited effort. As long as you're both putting effort into it, into making sure that your relationship works and you enjoy being around each other as long as possible, that's what keeps it going. So unless you really don't like each other.
There's a point in relationships where I notice where you have this feeling where, oh, I'm not doing anything, they're not doing anything, why am I not with them? And you feel obligated to be with them, because it's like, I'm in this relationship and I should be spending time with them because that's what relationships do, but I feel like that backfires more.
See, these feelings like that we're talking about, they come from what we were talking about earlier, how like media, movies, they give us ideas like this is what a relationship is supposed to be, but really what it should be is you talk to them occasionally, or like you can have one big talk, or you talk about this sometimes, just what do we want this relationship to be?
It's hard to say something like that, because it's like I feel like it's such a big thing to say,
or just like how can I make you happy?
Like love is such like one of those things where we just don't know how it's supposed to work out, that what we do instead is we compare it to other things. We compare it to our friends, what they're doing, like like our parents, family members. Movies definitely have a role in that. And so it's just so illogical that we don't know what we're doing, that we need to look at something else to try to go off that to understand what we should be doing, because it's like you get all just flustered over this person.
But then do you agree that like the only way to like have a successful relationship is just like with you and the other person being like, what do we want to do? What can I do to make you happy, and what can you do to make me happy?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So did we like solve it?
I guess so, but
figured out love on the radio.
Like I guess we just figured that out. Guys. We solved it, but it's so much more complex because there's so many emotions that go into it that you want to think this is so easy. I can just sit down and talk to this person about it, and it should be.
Well, here's the thing though: if you're not comfortable, I know that's like a big conversation, but like.
Of course, it's like, if you're not comfortable with it, like, it's so much easier said than done.
What I'm saying is, like, you should be dating someone that you can just say whatever you want with them. Mm-hmm. You should be able to be like, hey, I want to have, like, a weird conversation, or I kind of want to have a weird, all-encompassing conversation. Do you mind? And they'll be like, sure. And like, be in a relationship like that.
I don't know who you're going out with. Where
Yeah.
this kind of thing
Where
happens.
are they?
Like,
that happens.
People. Well, you guys know. Maybe our listeners don't know, or maybe they haven't figured out. I am. Would you guys say I'm a normal person?
I mean, I don't know a lot of people who are
normal.
I mean, like, obviously, like, like, what is normal, all that kind of stuff, but it's like, none of my friends, like, are really, like,
normies,
are really well versed in relationships.
Well, what I was saying was that, like Naomi, you know me, how I, like, seek out very specific. I seek out very specific people to be around. I seek out, like, I'm very specific with the people I want to be around. I have very specific types of relationships with people, and I think that I really, it's really hard for me to be comfortable with someone, so I find people who I can, if I'm going to date someone, it's someone who I can just talk to, or I will create a relationship like that. I've definitely been in relationships where I've made people able to talk about things they normally weren't able to.
See, usually it varies so much on the person, where for me as a person, I always am uncomfortable no matter how comfortable I am with someone. Like, I've been friends with some people for years and I'll still feel just uncomfortable in certain situations.
Yeah.
And it's just, no awe, that's just my being.
I'm not saying awe, I'm saying
Oh.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah.
No,
I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
I heard that wrong.
Dead serious, like.
Where it's just like finding that comfort. I think maybe it's just like a form of just like confidence to just be like, let's talk about how this relationship's gonna go. And I'm kind of more of like go with the flow, where it's like
I don't like to acknowledge that kind of thing. It feels like a little meta at times, and it's like sometimes it's like I don't like acknowledging things. Like, I just want to, like, let them happen.
Yeah, no, I feel like when I go in towards a relationship and I'm like, so what's going on with this? Like, I'm trying to create some form of game plan, and I don't want that. I just want it to kind of happen.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of my relationships just kind of, like, fizzle, because I'm just kind of doing whatever. Like that thing where it's, when I'm interested in a guy, I try to not act so interested, so I'm literally just not saying anything, to the point where it's just complete detachment, and it's just, I haven't been talking to them in days, because I'm just so worried that I'll seem overbearing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know that feel hardcore.
One thing that, I told you my method with that.
Oh, yeah.
I have
What's your method? I don't know your method.
Oh, I have it's very detailed. It's basically
We're
how.
gonna need another 2 hours for that one.
Yeah,
we don't have time for this show.
Yeah, and I'll just give like a quick summary. It's just many like tactics, methods over time. It's my version of the game, where if I like a guy, and if it started out romantic. You guys are both on your phones.
I'm sorry.
So rude.
Our friend Bernie is texting me.
All right. Well, I'll tell the method anyway, because the audience, the gist of it, and then
I'm listening.
They can send me messages online. I'll try and explain it more. If I am started out romantically in a romantic situation with someone, I'll push it towards more of a friendship kind of thing, so I don't have to worry about the anxiety of like seeming too overbearing, because it becomes something more casual. And I will also push my casual friendships with men towards being slightly more romantic, so something could possibly happen out of that if I ever feel like it, or just occasionally happen and then go back and forth. That's usually how I keep a comfortable maintenance of always having someone there. But that's basically the method. TM.
Nice.
Trademark. And there's many little tactics involved, ones I've told Naomi and stuff, but honestly, with relationships, just like letting them happen, that usually only works if you're a friend and then it evolves into a relationship. But like, I really like the idea of like having a friend. It's like, oh, are we gonna start dating? All right, like, what's it gonna be like? Okay, I like the idea of having game plan. That's really weird, but like, I like it.
That's never happened to me.
I've never even met somebody who's like thought of that. I think like that's so bizarre to me. It like doesn't even seem real.
I never like date my friends. I have like my I guess you could say like my guy friends are like friend zone, that place where it's never like I sat there and be like, we could be something more.
My my second girlfriend, her name was Greta.
That's a great name.
I know. That's also a pattern. A lot of the girls that I go out with have like, old lady names.
Ooh, can we hear some of these names?
Julia, Marina, Greta, and that's pretty much it. But I met another Marina in Tokyo.
Oh wait, do you want to know something funny about the names of the guys I've dated?
What?
Many of them have started with the letter K.
Nice.
That is a pattern.
Are you a Kardashian?
No, I think I just really like
Dolores.
I had semi-relationships or relationships with people named Kenny, Kurt, Kyle, like.
These are lame names.
I just really like the letter
I've
K.
had really like bland names too.
I'm talking about letters.
Okay, well I'm just saying like names. I've just had like very bland names. It was like Adam, Rob. Like just like very just like
Rob.
Guys, how would you feel about me playing swimming pool?
Adelaide.
Adelaide's a good name.
Adelaide.
Swimming pool, yeah, that's a good song.
Because this is another. Most of the self-titled album is about how most of my relationships went in high school, where you have people you put on pedestals, and they are just screwing you over in every possible way, while at the same time there are people who are putting you on pedestals, and because of your self-esteem being so low, you think there's something wrong with them for liking you. And that...
I don't see. I've never felt that. Like, I don't think there's anything
well,
wrong
Max
with the
is
person
Max is a hot guy. He's probably never experienced anything bad in his life.
No, that's not true. Absolutely.
I'm
not.
just kidding. Okay, but all right, here we go. Swimming pool by the front bottoms. Feel free to cry along.
Oh my god.
There's comfort at the bottom, 'cause you are warm. There's comfort at the bottom of a swimming pool. I'm holding my breath for you. There's no doubt in my mind that if you could, then you would try. Crack my rib cage open and pull my heart right through. That I create. I'm the last one on the dance floor as the chandelier gives way, and I am permanently preoccupied with your past. I've been around long enough now to know that the good things never last. They never last. There's comfort in the silence of a living room. The TV is on for you. Hide in your basement while your house burns down. Your teeth are loose inside of your gums. They will eventually fall out. Follow an orange extension cord under a carpet to a closet door feeding the black light that will someday make me very, 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 very rich. But I'm a creature of the culture that I create, and I'm the last one on the dance floor as the chandelier gives way, and I am permanently preoccupied with your past. I've been around long enough now to know that the good things never last. They never last. How low is your self-esteem? How low could it possibly be? And I know you're in love with me, and I've been ignoring you. I will stop cutting my pants into shorts. I will address the issues I cannot ignore, and I will do the things I think you might like, and I will be alone probably the rest of my life.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I'll break it up when you're done. Bye.
There's comfort at the bottom of a swimming pool.
Alright, guys, we're gonna play one more song for you. It's called You're a Liar by Title Fight.
No, so I know this one. Alright, ready? Oh, I messed that up. Wait, alright, we're gonna keep going.
Your talk is cheap, your lies are weak, sold. Your breath don't even speak, you're a liar. You're a liar. You make dirt mountains, mountains, strange house fountains, small problems big. I can do without your problems. Your problems. You're desperate at best, all you do is complain. I apologize for all the times I tried to help in any way. And oh, did I mention your cries for attention are driving me insane. Your talk is cheap, your lies are weak, so your breath don't even speak, you're a liar. You're a liar. Make dirt mountains, mountains, raindrops, fountains, small problems big. I can do without your problems. Your problems. So lately I've mainly been looking back to these past things the past brings and how the future'd act. No one notices your issues, they don't even make a mark. They're just these stupid things that you bring, their shadows in the dark. So while you're running your mouth and saying things that aren't true, I'll sit back and relax and realize how worthless I am just for you. All I'll say is this is the end of what we had, sincerely your best friend.
Alright, guys. This is a segment I think we should spend a couple minutes talking about. Because I wrote it down. And I feel like since we're in this age group and there's always people trying to tell us how they feel about it for us who don't really use it as much as we do, and we should give our opinion on it. Online dating.
Like Tinder, OkCupid, all that
Yeah, because
stuff.
there's always like people are like those millennials.
Is Tinder dating? Like technically, like.
Well, it's how you want to use it. Okay, do you guys ever see those articles? It's like millennials and their hookup culture.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I'm all about it. I'm all about the hookup culture. I love hooking up. It's the best. It's so easy.
It is nice, but they're telling us that we are like incapable of like having normal relationships.
We're incapable of getting divorced at age 40. We know. All right. It's like. It's sorry that we're not gonna do that. Like, you know, what is it? I was just doing research on this. Millennials are most likely to be the last. Like, you know, we're gonna be marrying last, owning homes last, having children last. Mostly because we can't afford it, but like also
because we're responsible.
Well, it's also like this thing where they're saying that becoming an adult is getting pushed back, where it's like 20-something-year-olds are just like prolonging their teens and things like that of just like living with their parents or just like trying to have the most fun they can.
All right, but about the living with your parents, it's only in America where that's I actually
it's very normal elsewhere. Like it's to
like
live with your parents, like a family home. You know, like it's where your family lives and has lived for generations. It's just the thing.
We're so obsessed with independence. Like I like my parents. Why can't I like?
I don't like my parents. I want to leave.
It should be based on the circumstances. It shouldn't be like you're not an adult if you don't live on your own.
As a commuter, I feel like sometimes a little of like shame in some form that I like live with my parents in comparison to like my friends who like moved out and like some are like across the country going to college and they're so independent and like there's like this stigma of me being a commuter and it's like you stayed home. Like, you still stayed with them. Like, you're not doing anything with your life.
The stigma isn't... It could be... the stigma of a commuter isn't that because, like, they're living at home. The stigma is that, like, it's hard to hang out with them. And, like...
That's also part
There's also that. Hanging out is really hard. Like, I'm exhausted trying to hang out with my friends sometimes, and I want to hang out with my friends. I'm just
It's
tired.
so easy, like when you dorm in like the same quad or in the same building. It's so easy. Like I live with Tom. Like it's we get on each other's nerves all the time. Like oh my god.
Guys, it's almost 7, but there isn't another show until 8, so we don't. We can finish. We can finish.
We should continue talking about the online dating thing first, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm a Tinder user, and
I'm a Tinder user.
I've done OkCupid. OkCupid I don't like
and
because
Max swiped me left.
Max, that's rough.
I didn't swipe her right. We matched.
I matched with Kira.
Nice. That's awesome.
I don't like Cupid so much, OkCupid, because they don't filter out certain things where I can have like a 40-year-old man just talking to me, even though I'd prefer an age range within like my age to like maybe 20. I'm 19, like 19 to 25.
You do have an age range that you post on there, but
they can still message you where it's like Tinder is
that's
like
just a man not respecting your boundaries.
Yeah,
but you can filter messages now. I can show you how to do that.
Show me that. I mean, I haven't been using it, but like I like Tinder because it's just specifically 19 to 25. That's what I want, and then that's it. And like with how far like away I want them to be, like that's why I like having these filters to like secure me. And like I also sent out Tinder a message once because I was getting frustrated because my brother's name is Daniel, and I kept getting a bunch of Daniels, but they seemed like good matches, and just something like it's just that one thing. Like I'm not gonna go start hooking up with a guy named Dan.
Absolutely not.
It's weird. So I messaged Tinder like, can you have like an option that if you ask for like any names or like things you'd want filtered out to just get them out of the way? Because sometimes I don't even realize their name's Dan.
Oh yeah, because you're just looking at pictures of their bio and stuff like that. Like
there's a guy who's been like talking to me a lot, and he seems like a really sweet guy, but his name is Michael. And my dad's name is.
Oh, okay. See, my dad's name's Eugene, and that's not so common. So like, it's
dope name right there.
My dad sent me an excerpt from his book. Would you guys like me to read a random paragraph, a sneak peek of the soon-to-come-out textbook, "The Origin of Sexuality" by Dr. Make Abrams, PhD. All right. Let me just. Okay, I'm gonna look at these chapter titles. Paragraph first and some sex differences concerning love. Shall I read that one? What is the function of love? Long-term relationships often impose great sacrifice to those individuals. What do you guys think? Which one?
Individuals. The sacrifice of the individuals.
Long-term relationships often impose great sacrifice to those involved. We put our partner's interests first, dedicate time and resource, and give up some other options to stay faithful to the current relationship. Love is at the same time an incentive to do so, and a reward for behaviors that demonstrate exclusivity and dedication. If we are rational in choosing the mate, as evolutionary theory claims, we could easily abandon our partners for rational reasons when circumstances change. Marriages tend to fall apart when a husband loses his job, and many women have been abandoned and replaced by a younger woman after reaching a certain age. Wow. Still, my dad's straight up in this book.
Damn.
Still, many marriages survive.
I forgot that your dad wrote this. Holy crap.
So that is insight.
This is a evolutionary psychology. This is a sexual psychology textbook, everyone, that may be used in your classroom one day. Marriages tend to fall apart when a husband. Still, many marriages survive severe emotional, physical, and economic hardships, and love is the reason for their survival. Love is also a reward for successfully solved commitment problems. Its effect is often compared with that of drugs, and in a way, it is similar. Hold on. Oh, and then he talks about jealousy, but I kind of want to go back to what is the function of love. According to Buss, who is a psychologist, love is evolved to serve several functions. The first function is displaying the reproductively relevant resources. Love is a way of displaying commitment, which is especially important to women. Men who display affection and care are more likely to gain sexual access. Love also signals sexual fidelity, which is one of the primary concerns of men. It promotes relationship exclusivity as it influences mate guarding and the occurrence of caring acts that lead to successful reproductive outcomes. Finally, acts of love signal parental investment, which is especially important for women as they seek a partner who will be dedicated to their offspring.
Of course.
And you guys can discuss that a bit, because I want to find something that talks about what love is.
No, I totally see where you're coming with that, because so much is just like what we were talking about before we came to the radio show. It's so much is about instincts, you know, like your evolved instincts that like, you know, like we as like a species have. And it's just sort of, so many people use that as an excuse, like, oh, like, I'm a man and, like, you know, we're supposed to be out hunting and gathering the babes, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, at a certain point, you need to kind of go past your instincts, you know, like, and just actually, like, be a person instead of, like, you know, like, I know that we ain't nothing but mammals, but, like, you know, we got to go a little bit further than that, like.
My dad actually, like, read me part of his book. And
as a child? Like, is this, like, you know, you're...
No, this book he's been working on it for the past stories. Like 8. Oh my God, what did you say?
I said bedtime stories.
Oh my God, he's been working on this for the past like 6-7 years, and I remember he was telling me how one of the most famous psychologists who helped him, who he interviewed for this book, used to write about like he wrote about sexual psychology, and then he wanted to talk about like the psychology of violence. But then he realized that everything comes down to sex. Every violent act, everything we do is just so eventually we can produce offspring. Everything is related to sex, is what he found.
Is this why I'm paying, like, over $100,000 to go to college just so I can have sex and reproduce? Is this what I'm working towards?
So you will make money, so you will have a better life, so it'll be easier for you to raise offspring.
Like, obviously that
so
is...
me and my adopted Korean child can, like, have a good life.
Even if, like, you know, like, even for people who, like, you know, maybe don't want to have kids, like, you know, like, personally, I don't know if I want to have kids, but it's, like, I want to have a good life in the future.
Do you want to adopt adult Romanian orphans?
I think I'd rather adopt than have my own child, because I consider, like, having a child, like, you know, one of the most selfish acts you could possibly commit. And, I mean, like... I think it's just because, like, you know, you want more of yourself in the world, you know? And, like, also it's like we live in such a place that, like, it's just so, I wouldn't want to raise a child in this world, honestly. Like, and, I'd rather, like, I think the whole adoption thing is, like, you know, like, somebody's already here, might as well make it better for them, you know?
See, it's interesting of, like, people want more of themselves, because, like, the old-time idea is always for, like, the male to pass down the last name. The
last name, yeah.
And it's, like, even in China when they had that one-child law where they'd only prefer men, and now there's, like...
That just ended.
That just ended, and there's a really, like inequality of like men versus women, where there's so many men, not enough women, and it's just so they can pass down their last name, and it is pretty selfish. It's like, I'm just gonna have these children, so my name that I was given from another person, that was given, like, from who even knows how they even started that name,
that's so, like,
to continue it on.
Why is that important? You know, it's like there's no, like, action. It's like the dollar bill. It's like it only has importance in your mind.
Like, what's the point if, like, I could have this child to pass down my last name, but in the end they may want to legally change it, and then it's legally changed, and they don't have that last name anymore.
Exactly.
Naomi, what you were talking about much earlier in the show, how parenting style, like the amount of attachment to the parent, can affect their expectance of relationships. It's actually mentioned here. I just found the part of attachment theory. So there's three theories of attachment styles: secure, avoidant, and anxious ambivalent, which just, you can get the general sense that those are different, like, types of ways that children can feel attached to their parents. Either, like, they really do feel attached, they don't, or they're not really sure. And one study demonstrates approaches in romantic relationships that stem from differences in the three original attachment styles. The secure style is related to high self-esteem and trust in relationships. These people appear to have more successful and fulfilling relationships, as they tend to have lower scores on scales of unfulfilled hopes, and their relationships last longer. The avoidant style is characterized by high scores of avoidance of intimacy, and avoidant people show tendency toward expressing ludus types of love. This will be explained further, blah blah. The anxious ambivalent type has a strong desire for commitment in relationships, yet they express tendencies towards a neurotic type of love. So, would you like me to keep going?
See, like I'm listening and I'm like recollecting, like, which one do I fit in?
Oh, well, it depends. Do you remember, like, how you felt towards your parents as a kid? Did you feel like they were there? Were you
you know, like, my parents are immigrants, so when they came to this country, they had to work a lot, so they were around, but for certain parts, it'd be, like, my grandma taking care of me more, so they weren't, like, they were present enough for, like, as how hard they'd be working. But, like, it's up and down. It's weird. It's in the middle, I'd say.
I don't know, like, for me, like, my dad was always, like, you know, bringing home the bacon and stuff like that, which is really interesting to think about because, like, even though he was, like, you know, a typical, like, masculine, like, type of, like, role model, like, I never really, like, felt that, you know? It's like, I mean, obviously it's like I want to have, like, a job and, like, you know, a wife and kids to a certain extent.
It's actually your mother that affects what kind of person you're attracted to the most. You're usually...
Oh, no,
Is this for males or for females,
No,
too?
okay, if you are a male, you're going to end up, like, this is what many people believe, you're going to end up looking
Freud.
for... No, not
people.
But besides Freud
Okay.
too. No, this is something that like a lot of people realize like does happen. You'll tend to be attracted to people who have the qualities of your mom if you're a man, and vice versa if you're a woman. And also like obviously different for people of different sexualities.
Do you guys find that? Like, do you feel that way?
My ex and my mom got along way too well.
I don't think I look for people like my dad whatsoever. I think I was interested in a guy once that like I literally looked at him and I'm like, you remind me of my dad, and it just went downhill.
Oof.
It just went so downhill, and it's just like it's always been the opposite, where it's been like my dad's a very chilled out guy. He's like laid back. He does a lot of dad jokes. He's a really cool guy. Eugene's really chill.
It might also be like you have a relationship with them in the same way that you have with your dad. Like if you say like what I was talking before about like consistency versus like not knowing when you're gonna get affection, and like that can affect it. Like I really look for consistency in relationships. I have like I tend to fear like a sudden change in their feelings.
I think I'm always
me.
expecting like a big bang of sorts in the relationship where like anything's gonna go wrong. So something like that.
Ooh, that's never a good thing to be looking for.
Well, I mean, just like a sudden change of sorts.
Of course.
So So guys, what do you think? Should we abandon our like what we have evolved to need? Should we just like say screw our instincts and just move past them and just?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all.
On some part of that, yeah.
But then what do you want to like? Because some people will say screw relationships. I just want to do sexual things, but that's still your instinct.
That's even more of an instinct.
Yeah,
that's closer to your instincts than like a relationship.
That's earlier.
You know?
That's earlier in like evolution.
Crazy.
So okay, so
you
what
need to vibrate higher.
I think what we would have to do is abandon all social interaction and just dedicate our lives to science.
See, like I was thinking more of like going to like a monastery and just like meditating for the rest of my life.
So the opposite of science. Then.
Yeah, well,
no, in a way those are similar.
Yeah,
those are both abandoning society to.
Yeah. They're not opposites. They're two sides of one coin.
That's another way to look. Well, that's also a way to define. I used to think about the word opposite so much because, like, you would say people like I remember being taught like black is the opposite of white, heads is the opposite of tails, or polar like north is the opposite of south. But I'd be like, but those I thought opposite is supposed to be the thing that's most different. Like, why is the opposite of the color black not a salted snail? Like, why aren't those the most different things from each other?
Like, it is interesting because it's like two things that are on the same spectrum but on opposite ends.
Yeah, but like the way it just always confused me because the way the word opposite was described to me was not like just the on the same spectrum. It was just the things that are most different from each other.
Yeah.
So, is this microphone the opposite of my shoes? No, because they're both fuzzy. So.
They have at least one thing in common, so they can't be opposites.
All right, maybe if anyone else do you think anyone's still listening?
I think it's a good time to call the show at a certain point.
All right.
We've been on for another 12 minutes, 13.
All right. Yeah. All right, let's play one more song. Max, do you have any suggestions?
I don't like music.
Of course you don't. Max is a person with no emotion. Oh, I have 6 text messages. That's strange. Oh, my sister wants to meet you.
Oh, okay. I just have plenty of texts from our friend Bernie. Who?
How's Bernie doing?
He said, if I could call in, I would say dialectic materialism.
All right. I think we're gonna end this with some more classic front bottoms since we were talking about it earlier.
TFB.
Lipstick covered magnet.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Love how you disagree to tell me that I'm wrong, but every bone is healed and every stitch is sewn. I've got some words to share, but she don't like my tone. I've got some words to share, she won't pick up her phone. She's got some medicine, I'm choking on the pill. She shouldn't feel this way, a lack of social skill. I'll take her out tonight, she'll have an awesome time. The only thing that's lost, the only thing that's mine. And I'm gonna get on my knees, would you kick me in the face, please? It'll make whatever I say sound like poetry. And as the gums begin to bleed, the words will fall like tea. And whatever we had left, you're talking with your friends. Secrets they'll never keep, they're sitting on your bed, and all you want is sleep. Pretend that this is fake, it helps to kill the pain. All that you want is different, all that you'll get is same. There's nothing more to say, I think I've said it all. I'm sitting on the edge, I'm waiting for the fall. You'll check my messages, they say you wanna fight. I'm turning off my phone, how high were you last night? And I'm gonna get on my knees, would you kick me in the face, please? It'll make whatever I say sound like poetry. As the gums begin to bleed, the words will fall like tea. And whatever we had locked up now is free. I'm gonna get on my knees, would you kick me in the face, please? It'll make whatever I say sound like poetry. And as the gums begin to bleed, the words will fall like tea. And whatever we had locked up now is free. I'm gonna die as lonely as I feel right. I'm scared I'm gonna die as lonely as I feel right. I'm scared I'm gonna die as lonely as I feel right now. I'm gonna get on my knees, would you kick me in the face, please? It'll make whatever I say sound like poetry. As the gums begin to bleed, the words will fall like tea. And whatever we had locked up now is free. I'm gonna get on my knees, would you kick me in the face, please? It'll make whatever I say sound like poetry. As the gums begin to bleed, the words will fall like tea. And whatever we had locked up now is free. You got me stuck to where I'm sitting, looking at your eyes. And I know I'm so pathetic, I wouldn't move to save my life. They tell me that you're lonely, it's no surprise when you walk around all day wearing those lonely, lonely, lonely eyes. Well, I try to tell you jokes, I'm afraid you cry. And if you need a little sunshine, you could borrow some of mine. It's okay if you're unhappy, I would say before I leave her, just take a look around, there's no one here that's happy either. Lonely girl, you're my world, and I could be anything you need. And if for some reason you don't feel like talking, I can just sit and enjoy your company, your company. The days keep going by, and it doesn't get much better. It could be threatening to jump, and all your friends would just scream. They count on you to leave, cause it's always been that way. But on the one day they close early, that's the one you want to stay. Lonely girl, you are my world, and I can be anything you need. And if for some reason you don't feel like talking, I can just sit and enjoy your company, your company.
company.
Check this out.
That is not allowed on our show.
It's a peace symbol.
Oh my god.
In Japan.
All right, guys. We're hungry and we're tired, and our show is supposed to have ended 20 minutes ago, but Naomi's gonna give you.
Us.
Yeah, Naomi's gonna give you guys some advice.
Hey guys, this is Noms out here. I just wanted to remind everyone that you should stretch every day. You should always hydrate. You should take care of yourself. Get that digestive system going.
Activity is good for that.
Do what feels right. Do a couple face masks once in a while. It feels good. That's my PSA for everyone.
Always listen to your intuition. If someone seems like they don't care about you, they probably don't, and stop trying. And
Amen.
That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. You are an amazing person. And the most important person you should care about loving you is yourself. All right, that's it. We're going to end our show on that note. And goodbye. My beautiful viewers.
Up the stairs once more. Secluded in castle in the sky again. Failed escape as the feeling begins to wane. Disappeared like water running down the hill. Melts away like icicles in the sun. No one here to hold. The light of day has gone.